Okay, thank you. I'd like to welcome everybody here. First, I would like to acknowledge all the people who are on my side and who are in the back room. Those people who are the people who actually did a lot of this work here. I specifically want to recognize our Saratoga County District Attorney, the Honorable Karen Hagan, and her Assistant District Attorneys who worked tirelessly with us throughout this investigation. I would also like to thank the members of the Mechanicsville Police Department and the members of the New York State Police Department, specifically Major Robert Patnod, Captain Richard O'Brien, along with the staff of the Major Crimes Unit, the Forensic Identification Unit, and the BCI unit investigators from Saratoga, Washington, and Rensselaer counties. I would like to specifically go out and thank Detective Sergeant William Rabbit, Senior Investigator, Mike Cuomo, Senior Investigator John Camp, and Senior Investigator John Ogden. These people actually worked tirelessly and really, assisted us in this investigation. It's this collaborative effort that we have working jointly amongst us law enforcement agencies that bring about the results of what you'll hear today. And I also want to thank all those investigators who go out there every day. We had hundreds of leads, hundreds of interviews and speaking with people and taking statements. It's a lot of work, but that work all pays off at the end. So we're here to announce the arrest of 2 individuals for the murder of David Feliciano of 44 Grove Street, Mechanicsville. Nikolai Mabashev, 19 years old, and Joseph A. Brasco, 16 years old. This is still an active and ongoing investigation, and details will be very minimal. However, we want to reassure the community that we are confident that we have arrested the 2 people who committed this heinous act. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to District Attorney, Honorable Karen Hagan.
I'm going to stand over here. Your mic's too big. I want to commend the efforts of all the members of law enforcement who have been working tirelessly since the day that this tragic incident occurred. Go over. The problem is you're not going to see me then. I'll try and talk loud. How's that? The collaborative effort, as Chief Waldron has indicated, of the members of the different agencies have brought about a result that I think is one that the community should be assured that has been investigated thoroughly, and as Chief Waldron has said, they are confident in their work. My office will pick up the ball in collaboration with the members of law enforcement. We will be bringing this case forward. As it is an active investigation, there's still more pieces that will be collected and obtained, and so I don't have any dates or times for you as to what's going to happen when, but we will be bringing the matter quickly and swiftly to justice. I'd commend to all of you questions to Captain Patnod and Major Patnod and the captain of the BCI here for specifics regarding the case. So, Major?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Thank you, Karen.
First, I'd like to thank the chief for bringing us in right away on this. First 72 hours are the most important time period to catch people, and when the PD brings us in right away, we're able to get to work right away, and in this case, within 48 hours, had a successful conclusion. We can take questions at this point.
Was this drug related?
We're not going to comment on motive at this point.
When and where were they arrested?
Process took place between yesterday morning and, yesterday evening and this morning here in Mechanicsville.
Have they said anything to any state results investigators? Did they admit to the crime? Their apology, anything?
We don't comment on confessions or admissions.
Was there a child removed from the home?
I'm not aware of that.
Not to our knowledge.
How,
Okay.
how did the 2 people who were arrested know the victim?
Well, they were acquaintances. That's all we're gonna release at this point. They did know each other.
And right now, they're both charged with second-degree murder, I believe?
That's correct.
Okay.
When you say the investigation's ongoing, is it more surveillance footage or interviews? What does that
Oh,
entail?
we're doing search warrants right now at a few different locations. There are a lot more interviews to do. These people traveled, so we have to travel where they traveled and do interviews there and try to get more, solidify the case as much as we can so we have a successful prosecution.
Could you give us insight on the number of tips you received and how they helped you get to these two individuals?
The community was a big help in this case. I will say that. We got really good leads from the community. They stepped up and did what they're supposed to do to help us solve this case. At this point, we've done over 150 leads, I would say, at this point, and that will double easily. So we're halfway there.
Has the murder
What
weapon
can-
been recovered?
I'm not going to discuss that.
You said that this is, they were acquaintances, and obviously people in Mechanicville, they don't have to worry that, you got the right people, have to worry that a killer's running around. But can you at least tell us how they knew each other and why they would decide to kill the other guy?
No.
Crime scene investigators have been in and out of that house for a couple of days now. Can you say what they've been discovering, or what they have found, or what they're collected?
No, we're not going to discuss that. No.
Was there anyone home at the time of the shooting? Feliciano's girlfriend, there were people who lived upstairs. This was a two-family home, correct?
In his actual location, he was by himself in his apartment.
You said they traveled. Where did they go and where were they apprehended?
That won't be released at this time.
With drugs involved?
We're not going to release that information.
Can you tell us about the scene right now?
What do you
Still,
We're holding the scene at this point. We processed the entire scene, but we're holding it because we're doing other search warrants, and if that may lead us back to the house to look for other things there. So we're holding it to make sure we don't want to go back.
Major, if this is not random, what I'm trying to say is, why is it not random? I mean, can you give us at least something to tell us why it's not a random
Or
act?
the public is safe?
The important thing for us to do is prosecute the case, people responsible for it. The best way to do that is to keep information, not let all the information out that we have. So that's why we're not releasing information. There are acquaintances. There is a motive. There are, a long-term relationship between these people. So that's all we're going to say.
Can you comment on the maroon car that you were looking for afterwards, and if that's been located?
We also aren't commenting on any vehicles at this time.
Was there a bolo for a maroon car? You can confirm that, or?
There wasn't anything that was publicized with looking for any particular piece of information. We are accepting any and all tips related to this case. That includes vehicles, individuals, and any evidence.
Can you tell us who pulled the trigger?
We cannot,
Can you tell us where those search warrants are being executed?
not at this time.
Is there a possibility of additional arrests or additional charges?
There is a possibility of additional arrests.
These two people who were arrested, as well as the victim, did they have a history with police at all? Were they arrested previous?
We're not going to
Not
discuss
gonna say
that.
that.
Were
Oh,
any
the main
surveillance
point here
cameras?
is we want to reassure the community that we have the right people. We're confident we have the right people, and that there's no other people involved in the actual murder. We're confident it will be prosecuted, and it will be successful doing that.
How quickly were these suspects after the incident?
I'll talk to you.
Well, obviously, the incident occurred on August 7th at 8:45 at night, and they were apprehended last night, so rather quickly.
Yeah, but I mean, was there suit like right after, or did you have to?
No, everything takes, I mean, it would be great if we knew exactly who did what the night of, but it doesn't work that way. It requires groundwork. It requires investigators, knocking on doors and shaking trees and seeing what falls out. And ultimately, the culmination of all of our investigative efforts brought us to this point. So it wasn't like we knew exactly Monday night who did this. So
Well, you can't comment on exactly where they traveled to. Were they trying to flee? Were they far out of the area?
We can't comment on that.
You said you're confident you have the two involved in the shooting, but you say that there's possibility for more arrests. Can you explain that?
The two people, let's just say this, the two people for the homicide, for the murder, have been arrested. There will be nobody arrested, as far as we're concerned, for the homicide, for the actual shooting. But there may be other arrests pending.
Chief, this is the first homicide in Mechanicville in 20 years. How important is it to the community to get this wrapped up as quickly as possible?
Extremely important. And I happen to be fortunate, or unfortunate, but fortunate enough to work that homicide that occurred. And I knew with the State Police Major Crimes Unit that we had back then, we did a phenomenal job. It wrapped up a murder. So my first call on my way here was to the State Police Major Crimes Unit again. So it was extremely important. And like I said, the more you bring in, Mechanicville's small. I have, 20 police officers. At the end of the day, we cannot go out there and knock on every door and follow every lead, and we don't have labs to our disposal. Whereas the state police brought in 20 investigators all by themselves, and senior investigators, not people, who were just on for a year or two. So it was extremely important, and then we're obviously very appreciative of the state police.
What do you guys, how do you guys feel that these people were so young? I mean, young victim, two young guys in this. I mean, tell us.
Yeah, obviously, let's just be honest with one another. It's sad. The saddest part, I think, of any law enforcement's job is to notify the family that their child has been killed. And, I feel an obligation to make it personal, so I go myself and make those notifications. And they were devastated. It's senseless. It's a senseless act. Why does my son have to die? And he doesn't. He shouldn't have died, and he did. So, obviously we here take it personal. It's sad that it's another two young lives, not only one life that is gone, but two more lives that are probably gone also. So, very sad.
While Mechanicville doesn't have a history of this, is there anything the police department can do to prevent issues like this in the future?
I would say not really. I can't go into specifics of the case, but I will say that the Mechanicville Police Department has done its job. It's not like, and I hate to do this, but it's not Troy, Albany, or Schenectady where shootings seem to be all the time. It's not like that in a small town like Mechanicville, and we hope it's the last time it happens here.
When we were talking to neighbors, a lot of them said that they were home and didn't hear the gunshots. Can you describe the scene? How many shots were fired?
We'll be consistent with what we've said all along, multiple shots. That's what we've said from day one. But as far as specific numbers, we don't release that.
Have any witnesses gone through identification procedures for either of the defendants?
We have no comment on that.
Okay.
I don't know if you said this earlier or not. It was believed that originally he was shot in the driveway, and I think it's been changed to possibly shot in the house and ended up in the driveway. Can you talk about that?
Since I've already gone to that part of it, and we've already announced this, because there seems to be a lot of inaccuracies. So we did, even though we did, announce that the shooting took place inside the house, so that the people, because what was happening was the news media had it that they were outside and they were shot, and it's like a drive-by shooting, and to relieve the concerns of the residents of Mechanicville, we did confirm that the shooting took place inside the house. Is that it?
Do you know who called 911?
Yes, we do.
Can you say who?
I don't have the information with me at this point.
Was a neighbor though, I'm assuming.
I'm assuming you have to.
And
Okay.
no child removed from the home?
No child was removed from the home.
And you say he was the only person there, resident at the time?
He was the only person occupying that dwelling.
Is it a two-family home?
It is.
And it's 44 Grove Street?
That's correct. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.